Hello everyone, we are so excited to start the PC-PEP TV program where we want to talk about the science behind the PC-PEP program and its various pillars. And today we are talking about
the science of habits, which is actually the critical skill of integrating these healthy habits into your life. So it's great that you're going to do this program for 6 months and it can make a huge difference in getting to your treatments or recovering or decreasing your side effects. But we're really actually thinking about you in the long term, for the years to come. If you can integrate the healthy habits into your life, then you'll be healthier and happier. And we're drawing on the science.
Yes, we are. Benjamin Gardner in 2012 wrote a very important paper on the psychology of habit formation and general practice. And he said just telling people what to change and why is not enough. What's important to do is to tell people how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do today.
Which is great. I mean, and there's fantastic science to go behind this.
Yes.
First of all, why do we even have habits? These habits are automated sequences of behaviors that allow us to expend less energy on the task.
Yep.
So think about it, when you were first learning how to drive as a 17-year-old, like a lot of energy, a lot of nervousness to kind of process everything that was happening to you. As you developed a habit of driving, it became much more easy for you, so you could do it automatically, and you could have a conversation, for instance.
Yeah.
So
or riding a bike, the same thing. You don't even think about it, just do it.
So we want to use the same type of science to help you now integrate the various aspects of the program. So for instance, let's take the example of exercise or doing strength training. What does the science from your side show in terms of how people can actually decide to get this done in a very practical and determined way?
So the how part of it, the science says, make a new healthy habit by number 1, decide on the goal that you would like to achieve for your health.
For instance, I want to do strength training every Monday and Thursday as part of the program.
Choose a simple action that will get you towards your goal, which you can do on a daily basis.
Right. So we're talking about daily exercise, but it could be strength training Mondays and Thursdays. And to visualize yourself actually doing it, I'm going to walk down the stairs, I'm going to get out my elastic bands, I'm going to press the YouTube video, I'm going to follow Rob and Jeff doing the program, and then I'm going to feel better after. So even the visualization helps you towards this. So what else does it in terms of...
And you're actually right on, because number 3, it's plan when and where you will do your chosen action. Be consistent. Choose a time and a place that you encounter every day of the week.
Perfect. Anything else in terms of...
Every time you encounter that place and time, do the action.
Every Monday morning, first thing before breakfast, I walk down the stairs, I'm going to do my strength training. Every Thursday morning, it's like, this is the automatic, it's the cue that allows for the behavior, that allows for the reward.
And it will get easier with time. And within 10 weeks, you should find you're doing it automatically without even having to think about it.
Yep.
Congratulations.
What happens
You've made a healthy habit.
Exactly. So as you're going down the stairs Monday morning and Thursday morning, you're actually wiring your brain, and the myelin goes around those neurons to make this automatic. So you don't even have to think about it from that point.
Yeah. So now let's talk about each pillar of our program and how you can integrate this science concretely. How do you do it? How do you create healthy habits with regards to eating, with regards to intimacy, with regards to meditation, with regards to the other aspects, social connection?
Yes.
How do you do it?
Well, let's take one thing at a time. So we talked a little bit about exercise, that exercise becomes a routine. So for instance, for me, the routine is I bike to work, right?
Yeah.
Or if I'm going towards the elevator, about to push the elevator button, the cue then is, oh, maybe I can walk the stairs, right? So every opportunity you're thinking about exercising. But let's take Kegels, for instance. So we just had a recent monthly video conference, and some of the guys say, when their feet first hit the floor, first thing in the morning when they're getting out of bed, that's their first set of Kegels.
They're saying, I'm going to do Kegels right now.
So that's the
cue.
That's the cue.
That's the time and the place where they're going to do it.
Right.
And so every time they're in that time and place, in the bed, putting their feet on the ground, Kegels.
And whatever, 8 minutes later, they've done their Kegels and they feel good about it.
Yeah. You know, another thing that I do, again, one of our participants in the program said that every time he's in the elevator, he does Kegels because nobody can see what he's doing. And
that's multitasking, yeah.
It's a specific time and a place. And I found myself that because of that cue and that suggestion, every time I'm in an elevator, guess what I do? Kegels.
Up, 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 up. So the other thing that we thought about is how we do this within our lives.
Yes.
So for instance, we
Let's
have
be practical.
kind
I
of
mean, yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
But one of the rules that you and I have is that every morning before breakfast, we're going to sit and do the HRV monitor, essentially the meditation relaxation technique, for about 15 minutes or so. And we look at it and we kind of tease each other, look at our scores and that type of thing.
We are creatures of habit. So let's be very clear. Our life, it's very much circles around those habits, and we've made a commitment to stick with them.
And I can feel myself go into a relaxation response even as I'm just sitting down to do it. And then the other thing is, you can see us do a little prayer at the end. I said an affirmation for the day, please let me be helpful and beneficial to everybody. And then we actually hug for about 20 seconds. And during that hug, I send as much love from my heart as possible. And I'm like hugging Gabriela, I'm saying, I love you so much, I love you so much.
And I'm hugging Rob and I'm saying, thank you so much. Thank you.
And if you live by yourself, you can kind of give yourself the self hug or the touch, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, there's so much to be grateful in a relationship. It's a team.
Right.
It's the Ilie Rutledge team.
And I mean, the other one is in terms of intimacy, you can actually create cues around that. So every time, for instance, we have a kind of rule within
Another
a
rule
relationship
that we have
is if anybody comes into the house, the other person gets up and greets them.
No matter what you do, you just drop it.
You drop it,
It's just
you go
2
over
seconds.
there,
Go there.
give that person a little kiss, a
And a
little hug, and wish them well, et cetera, et cetera. And so you can use different cues for that every time you turn
because
up.
to give is to have, isn't it? I mean, that's how I feel when I come to greet you when you come home. I feel that every time I do that, I get what I'm giving you.
Right. And if you live by yourself, you pet your cat first thing or give yourself a hug first thing. There's different ways to set up the cues. Every time you walk through a doorway, you can say, "Ooh," or the first time you walk out the doorway in the morning, it's going to be a great day.
Yes. I'm awesome. It's going to be a great day.
We're going to talk about the reward system as well. But I wanted to go, last one is just the practical one. Guys, we've been vitamin D, like the whole darn program, right? Every single guy should be taking his vitamin D every day. And so one of the ideas is to do what they call habit stacking, which we've been talking about. You have a habit, for instance, of brushing your teeth first thing in the morning. So as my hand is going towards my toothbrush first thing in the morning, there's my vitamin D and our B12 because we're vegan. And so I know first thing I'm getting out my vitamin Ds, I'm taking it, I'm handing over to Gabriela, I'm drinking my water, and then I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making it extremely easy for me to take the vitamin D and B12. And for Gabriela as well. Lastly, I just want to...
And there's also communication, even in the habit formation within a couple, there is communication. Because the fact that he's including me in the habits that he's forming means that he cares about me, that we are a couple, we're two, we're a team. Again, there's communication in that and the communication is, I see your interest as my own. How can you not relax in that? And how can your body not be prone to be pushed towards more healing and regeneration rather than being in a state of panic or depression or feeling anxious or isolated?
And I'm remembering now, all the other things that we do as habits. The habit is last thing just before we go to sleep. I'm usually snuggling into Gabriela's neck like this and asking her to rub my head. And first thing in the morning is kind of vice versa. She snuggles into me.
I do, yes.
I'm petting her first thing.
So that's another thing, Rob, because we're both giving each other that opportunity. So there is a balance there.
Right, it's not just one to the other type thing. Exactly. With nap time, same idea.
Yes. That's another thing that we're carving time for eating together if we can, and then napping for even 10 minutes, even 5 minutes.
Well, the last thing from the kind of scientific perspective, and it's kind of a fun one as well, is that it's good to kind of boost the reward. So after you've actually done something, within that first 3 seconds, so you pop in the vitamin D, your B12, et cetera, then you can say something like, "I'm awesome," or "bingo," or
any positive emotion. Any kind of, if you say to yourself, I'm just, way to go. Excellent.
Well
I'm
done.
doing this. I'm doing this. I'm
awesome.
choosing health. I'm choosing well-being.
I can just see a whole community of men doing the Kegels at the first thing in the morning, and the finish going, I'm awesome. You know?
Yes, and
Bingo.
you know, the way I like to think about this is not just about me. It's not just about the team Ilie Rutledge. It's about the community, because our children see us do it,
Yes.
and so they are more likely to do it. And then the community, if we change our life and we move towards, you know, positive transformation and good psychological well-being, then that's what we put out there when we
Yes.
interact with others. So
Yeah.
so it's really about community building
Yeah.
and community and world changing in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed,
It all
yeah.
starts from home.
Exactly. And
It
that-
all starts from here.
The habit turns into identity. So I go from being, you know, this guy who's not very connected with my wife to I'm practicing all these intimacy connections. So now I'm the caring husband. I see myself as the caring husband. And then Gabriela's taking it to the bigger level of the community and purpose and so on. So
It all starts from here.
exactly.
Let's all do our part.
And the science.
We can do it. We can do it.
We're awesome.
We're awesome. We're taking responsibility and we're doing this together.
Well, beautifully said, hun. Have a wonderful month, guys. We'll see you
Have a wonderful month. We'll see you next month.